What up, dudes? With draft season around the corner, basically almost here, I want to talk about Trophy Smack. Maybe you've heard of Trophy Smack from Shark Tank. Probably heard about it from us. Anyhow, if you're looking for trophies, belts, rings, draft boards, or loser awards, go to trophysmack.com/dudes and take your fantasy football league to the next level.
This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, and Seth. On today's episode, we have our wide receiver rankings. Should be a fun one. We got some divas and all other sorts of stuff, football related. But before we get into that, Phil, you doing okay? You know, we are recording on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
So it is a little different. I don't know if Seth's had enough time for his divas yet.
Nice and cool in here.
Nice and cool, very cool.
I have a diva.
You have a good diva. Seth's been, talking this up for a while now, so I'm excited to hear about it.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he has a good diva.
Yep. I reported it within about a minute of seeing the diva.
Seeing the diva. So, And I wonder.
And Trent was very confused when he didn't know what Seth was saying.
I was also confused. I was confused too because it was like sporadic texting.
Well, it's because I was driving while I was texting, so I was just trying to be.
Let's not
some smart people were able to just understand it from the very
illegal
jump.
activities.
Well, yeah, I just wasn't. I'm not endorsing texting and driving, but I had to report it then because I probably wouldn't remember by the time I stopped driving.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a little hard to understand. Maybe if you're, I don't know.
Speak
just
the English language for longer than 30
just
years.
not able to comprehend, but
Your comprehension skills are below par, you know.
Well, you guys almost took a
just like it's like when I say Trent's illiterate, and then like he goes, "No, I'm not," and then about 3 message bubbles later, he spells a word wrong.
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
used the wrong there for the 19th time that day.
I think it was angel. I used angel instead of angle.
No, you
you
used angle
said
instead of angel.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I know that's what I meant though. I wasn't there though. I'm decent at my theirs.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time, but I'm decent at it. Angel and angle gets me a lot, but what has helped me with that is emojis. Because the emoji will pop up, whether it's an angel will pop at the end or it'll be like the angle. And that does help. That does help, guys.
Apple has saved Trent's career.
No one else has noticed that when they put those two in there?
I'm not saying either of those words. I don't know when the last times I've texted.
I love when Trent makes like the mock-ups for the drafts, and then like we find out like something. He's like, "Does this look good?" And then he's like, "I'm like, oh yeah, it looks pretty good." But I'm like, "Oh, but this is 2 words." He goes, "Sorry, Canva doesn't have like."
Yeah, no, Canva doesn't have spell check. It's terrible. It really messes me up. I rely on spell check. And today, even on our draft, we had a draft for our
$1 million
draft,
baby,
and did a little bit with the voting. I used an old mold, one of our old draft boards back when I used to do Team 1, and it was Team ABC. I forgot to change that on the mold, and then the voting I put Team 1 through 4. So just something silly buddy. Like that.
It's all right, big guy. Don't worry about it. I will say that. That was a really good draft. If you haven't already heard that draft, please go back and listen to that draft. Trent continues to call Seth Jordan's first mate throughout the entire thing because Jordan said that he wanted to get a.
That's so stupid.
we got Skipper and Gilligan over here.
Yeah, but, that was a good draft, I think. But you asked me how I'm doing. I'm not doing well.
Yeah, you got a lower back pain?
I have a lower back injury. And I've explained it this way. Like, I'm a fast twitch athlete living in someone who's just like slightly overweight. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
I think that I'm like if you see me like run a route, you may be surprised, like, wow, that guy actually ran a route decently, but like it's severely slower. It's almost like I'm doing like walk football, but it's like a crisp route.
Phil says he runs these routes like pretty decently, but then like not only 5 plays later, he's crawling off the field because he destroyed his ankle.
I'm out of gas, or the gas tank's on empty.
Have you been playing walk football?
He's panting.
We should play a game of walk football in Trent's backyard.
That 2-on-2. That'd be great.
Walk really football is the best, and also indoor. We need to get an indoor. Trent, the problem is that we don't have like a little hookup indoor basketball thing.
I have one as soon as we get
Jordan
the doors done. The basketball hoop will go in.
Jordan would just embarrass us. And when
knee basketball.
Phil's explaining his back hurting, like him being some athlete. He's the one who told us his back hurt because of these chairs we sit in. So I don't know why he's giving us an athlete background when he's claiming claiming it's the chair that hurt his back.
Well, Trent is
and
probably going to be
like
my
icy hot in here.
It does. Biofreeze.
But it's also not the worst smell.
Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
Sponsor Phil and all his many injuries. Please.
Yes, exactly. I had a knee injury like 6 weeks ago.
This guy's a walking billboard for icy hot.
Oh, man.
Band-Aids, icy hot, whatever.
Band-Aids, I'd love to.
Like, Phil, you don't need a Band-Aid for a bad back. But anyways, should we just let Seth... Should we let Seth get into his diva real quick, and then we can go into our wide receiver
Yeah, but
rankings?
do you really? You guys don't mind these chairs? Can I just ask that real quick?
They're fine.
I think they're okay.
For a guy who doesn't like them, you sure have me bring them to your house for parties quite a bit.
The sad part is it's true. Like, out of at least 3 parties I've had, you've brought these chairs.
You've also told me you like the chairs. It's just recently.
Yeah, recently. I think it's just age catching up with me, you know? That could be my diva of the week, too. Let's hear Seth's. I think we need to get into this.
Yeah, because I've been waiting long
All right,
enough.
I'll go back into my background. I saw a movie before I came. So I got the news that we were going to start later. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go see a movie. I saw the Oppenheimer movie.
How was it?
I thought it was pretty good. It was okay.
What is that about exactly?
It's about the making of the atomic bomb. And so it's the story of the doctor behind it.
Mm.
It's pretty interesting. But my diva... So
not related to the movie at all.
Not related to the movie. I was just kind of giving my background on what I did, and that was basically what I did this week. That was it. And the reason why we're going so early is because I'm going to be gone on Sunday.
Yep.
But my diva. So I happen to be driving home from work, and usually the street I drive on quite frequently, because my in-laws live near this street, is a street that crosses right next to a golf course, and this golf course has. The front 9 is on one side of the street and the back 9's on the other half. So the golfers go under the bridge.
Sure.
And hole 10 is right next to the other side. And so I happen to be driving over and I'm on the phone talking to my wife, and I just drive past this guy who is openly taking a leak on a tree. Like, he's hiding himself from his friends, but he's in the full view of the road.
I've seen the same
So
guy.
I look over and I just see this guy exposing himself to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy has to be completely wasted at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Do you know who he is? Name him.
I don't know who he is, but if you're...
He's an older guy.
No, he's like probably our age.
Wow.
I was shocked. I was like, this guy's either like dumb, like he's either dumb or he is just...
Or drinking.
Or he is clearly intoxicated.
Dude, Seth, so many people...
you don't accidentally expose yourself unless you are intoxicated.
Paint
or
this
you
a
were
better
just dumb.
picture for me. So he was like...
Be more graphic.
No.
Be more
Like what I'm
graphic,
saying.
Seth.
Was he like right next to a tree, or was he just right there on hole 9?
No, he's on hole 10. So just
Yeah.
about. He's on hole 10 and right about to tee off on hole 10. His friends are teeing off. He's behind the tree, and so hole 10's over here where they're teeing off. He's behind a tree over here, right next to the golf cart path on the other side, and the road happens to be on the side of the tree that he's standing on. And this guy's for sure taking a leak. I can see the stream. That's how close the road is to this guy.
Take a picture to last longer.
No, I don't want to. I was just like,
No, Seth,
that is my diva.
No,
People not knowing their surroundings or being so intoxicated that you just can't make a smart choice. I'm like, if you have to go to the bathroom, the clubhouse is literally 50 yards from this hole.
Yeah, might be less. Seth, those people who live right there, I think you get exposed all the time, because I've seen the exact same thing happening driving in that exact same situation.
It's the worst spot. Like, if you want to, you can pick a more open spot, but like somewhere between hole 13 and hole 15, where not like every car that drives by on the road's going to see you.
Sometimes you just got to go. This wasn't me, by the way, but...
No, Seth, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I honestly thought about calling the golf course and reporting it at one point.
I was just shocked because I was on the phone and I just looking at these guys teeing off and he is just leaking, man. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you are exposing yourself.
I'm so glad you brought this up. It's bad, Seth. It is terrible.
Awful. I'm like, yeah, that's my diva. People who are either too dumb or too intoxicated to hide themselves.
And the problem is that that person went behind a tree, and that's almost like covering your eyes and thinking that people can't see you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like he thought he'd hide himself from his buddies, but like, I'm not gonna hide myself from strangers.
Yeah, from the general population. Yeah. Someone needs to call the police.
Or just go
on
use
that
the
corner.
stinking restroom. You're on a golf cart.
Be an adult. Is
Be an
all
adult.
you're asking.
I'm not. Yeah.
Hey, Phil, are you someone to like? I feel like it's pot calling the kettle black. You're the one that has to get up and take a leak every 5 seconds in this building.
The privacy of a place. I'm not.
But like you can't.
He's actually going into a toilet.
Yes.
Are you
For
going?
all we know.
Yes, I am. Yes, that's a little bit different. Yes, that's a little bit different.
But you can't control yourself, so how you expect other people to control themselves?
No, that's
Wait,
that's
hold on.
not
We
at
are
all
not
the
encouraging
same.
public peeing on the
Phil
pod.
does not indulge in public indecency.
Yeah,
He also has no self-control when it comes.
those are two different things. They're not even close to being the same.
Not even close.
Let's clean this up right here, guys. So speaking about all this, the modern man's a man who takes care of himself. Manscaping isn't just for life special occasions. It's a requirement for optimal health, superior hygiene, and healthy self-esteem. You now have the right tools for a safe and precise grooming and hard-to-navigate sensitive areas. And maybe the guy just has healthy self-esteem, Seth. I don't know. But anyways, go to manscaping.com Just go to manscaped.com, dudes20 for 20% off your whole entire order, guys. Really helps us out. They got the Lawnmower 4.0. They have the Weed Whacker. They have those nice, buttery smooth boxers. Is that what you would say with those, Phil? Is buttery
I'm taking
smooth?
all of my pairs on this trip I'm going.
Yeah,
all of my pairs.
Yeah. You should. And the humidity.
You should.
And they'll help you because you're going to a humid climate.
It's actually,
tropical. You're going to a tropical climate.
So go ahead, guys. Go to Manscaped.
I'm still can't get over what Jordan said.
Enter dudes 20. Comparing you to a flasher, basically, is what he did.
Yeah, it's like comparing people who use a in-home
Well,
restroom.
you're talking about
compared to no, we're not talking about someone who's using the bathroom outdoors, like in front of people. Like that's not even the same as like using the restroom at someone else's house.
That's like Phil going on a run and he has to pee in the middle of the road because he can't help himself.
Yes, which I would never do.
That's what Jordan implied.
Well, I don't know. My
things-
evidence of Phil's self-control is very low. Like he has not exhibited
There's a
very high
difference
self-control.
self-control and indecent exposure. Like that, they're drastically
Well, they might go.
different.
There's a fine line.
They might correlate. pretty
Jordan-
good together.
Jordan-
There's a
problem is,
fine
like-
line, but Phil likes to walk it.
I just want to know like what other things are Jordan comparing in his mind about like other people, and like that is like so wildly different.
It's very different.
It's so wildly
The
different.
correlation's not far off.
Jordan.
though.
No, it is not. I mean, yes, it is. It's
No,
terrible.
It's not.
This is so weird. This is weird, guys. For first time,
It's like someone has to use the restroom, therefore they can't make it to the restroom. Like that doesn't. Those aren't the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
I really didn't think this was going to be a bathroom talk pod,
Yeah,
but
I
if you
didn't.
enjoy the bathroom talk, go ahead and get the like button on YouTube right there. Like and
This is
subscribe.
ridiculous.
Share. Remember, don't be rude.
I'm gonna
Share
throw
the
Jordan
dudes.
off this pod.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at TFF Dudes. Really helps us out. And hit that bell and thumbs up on YouTube, guys. We really appreciate that. We've been really growing out there on YouTube. So, Phil, we're going to do the wide receiver rankings. You want to read last year's top 30, and then we have our top 40 here. Maybe we'll just buzz through 40 through 30 and then kind of go from there. We all got our rankings here. So it should be a
Actually,
good
what I was
pod.
going to do is, I mean, if you want me to go 30 through 1, I can, but I was just going to go 20 through.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fine.
So we're just going to start 20 through 1 and go through last year's finishes. And so Chris Godwin, now we're starting at 20 going to 1. Chris Godwin, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Mike Evans at 16, Terry McLaurin at 15, Brandon Ayuk at 14, Tyler Lockett, Christian Kirk, Jamar Chase, Amari Cooper is at the 10 mark, Devontae Smith is at the 9, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 8, Jalen Waddle at 7, CeeDee Lamb, at 6, AJ Brown at 5, Stephon Diggs at 4, Tyreek Hill at 3, Devontae Adams at 2, and Justin Jefferson at 1. And so that would be like the top 20 there. Was there any, just to go back to it real quick, let's recap just a couple guys there. Was there anything that shocked you? Like I remember when we were talking about running backs last week, there was a couple people who were like, oh yeah, I can't even believe that person was in the top 10. Is there anyone who you remember from last year in the top 20? You're like, wow, I can't believe that person was either so low or so high.
The one that still kind of surprises me is Christian Kirk that high up, even though he had a good year the whole season at number 12. He kind of took off a little bit more at the end of the season, right, Jordan? Does that sound right, or is he pretty solid the whole year?
He was kind of solid the whole year. Honestly, the beginning of the year, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Amari Cooper is just way higher than what I think.
Yeah, the only reason that doesn't surprise me is because I brought it up a couple weeks ago, but it is still weird.
Tyler Lockett up there too. That's kind of crazy. Ayuk. Both guys that I'm kind of staying away from this year. But
Yeah,
they're
and
both pretty high up
Tyler
there.
Lockett had such a good year, and DK Metcalf was like 4 spots down. It's surprising to see DK so far down when Geno Smith, fantasy-wise, had a pretty good year last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, two top 17 guys. That's why Geno Smith had a pretty good fantasy year. Like, it's not
One that
you,
surprised
because if they would have been flip flopped, you'd have been like, oh, that's kind of normal.
That's what I'm saying.
Terry
yeah.
McLaurin is the big one that jumps out, I think.
Really? I mean, he's just really good.
I don't know.
You never feel like he's that good, though.
You're right. Like the consistency's there. Like he has almost 1,200 yards, the 5 touchdowns. I think it's just like the receivers that score. Like look at all the rest of these guys. He is the lowest amount of touchdowns compared to even the guys below him. Like the touchdowns are just huge. You know.
He's a guy who, if he ever just played with a real quarterback, his numbers would be off the charts.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's move into this year. We're gonna go through. You want to go from 40 to 30 or 31, Trent?
Yeah, let's do that and start with those guys over there. I'm still pulling some stuff.
Yeah, that's
up over
fine.
here.
Seth, you are missing 38. So if you want to throw someone in there, you can. Let's start with Jordan. Jordan, you want to give your list 40 through 31?
Yeah,
please?
honestly, I don't love like my last 35 from 40, but I'll just go for it. I feel like I maybe could have changed some stuff around if I'd have gone back and done it. But at number 40, I got Michael Thomas, hashtag for the brand. 39, Jacoby Myers.
That's so dumb.
38, John Dotson. 37, Tyler Lockett. 36, Marquise Brown. 35, Mike Evans. 34, George Pickens. 33, Michael Pittman. 32, Jerry Jeudy. 31, DeAndre Hopkins. And you said 32
Yeah,
or
just stop at 31. So DeAndre
Okay.
Hopkins is good. Seth, you haven't got your guy in there. Trent, you want to go or do you
I'll-
want to
I'll
go?
go right here.
Okay,
No.
go ahead.
You said
I'm just gonna fill it in.
Okay, go ahead,
Okay,
Seth.
I have Tyler Boyd at 40, Treylon Burks at 39. I'm going to throw in, who did I say I was going to throw in here? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Cortland Sutton at 37, Hollywood Brown at 36, Darnell Mooney at 35, Brandon Cooks at 34, Kadarius Toney at 33, George Pickens at 32, and Jerry Jeudy at 31. I said I was going to throw in...
you just think about it a little bit. I'll give you mine.
Go ahead,
At
Trent.
40, I have Tyler Boyd. At 39, I have Treylon Burks. 38, I have Cortland Sutton. 37, Marquise Brown. 36, Darnell Mooney. 35, Brandon Cooks. 34, Kadarius Toney. 33, George Pickens. 32, Tyler Lockett. 31, Michael Pittman. The guy I feel like I'm too low possibly right here, Darnell Mooney doesn't seem right to me, but it's the DJ Moore impact. Like, I just feel like,
I think you're way too high.
you think
on
I'm too high on Darnell Mooney?
Oh, way too high.
I just the closer we get to the season, the more I'm thinking Fields might be just a better thrower than what he was last year and can really open things up. Like I struggle even like where to put DJ Moore this year with that team. Like where do you have DJ Moore, Jordan? You don't think he's to have a ton of yards?
I have DJ Moore at 22.
22. I have him at 19. So I guess just all Bears guys like that I've had trouble really putting where to put them. I might be too low on Kadarius Toney also. I don't know where you have him.
I think we're
Jordan.
all, so for the record, like I think we're all high on Kadarius Toney.
Are we higher
compared
than
to
most
like
people?
ESPN rankings. ESPN is consensus 46. Like Jacoby Myers, I think I might be too high on here. I put him in there I think he's really safe. Like he's a safe guy, but you could easily have him in the 40s.
We're missing Ayuk.
I'm just not an Ayuk guy, but yeah, ESPN has Ayuk as consensus 34, and I have him out of my top 40. So
I'll go ahead and put Jordan Addison in at my 38 there. I don't think I have him listed up here, so I'll just throw him in there.
Okay.
Can I say something real quick? I think everyone's kind of putting their line on the sand on Deontay Johnson versus George Pickens, but everyone I think here, I'm trying to see if Seth has Deontay Johnson listed.
I do. 25.
25, okay. And then you have Pickens a little bit farther. So, I mean, we think that Deontay Johnson, again, I know we're not saying anything shocking here. We think that Deontay Johnson's definitely the guy there. And in Pittsburgh in terms of like most targets, most receptions, biggest year this year?
Yeah, I'm just high on that offense in general. So I think that
you've been you're
I think they have
stoked on Kenny Pickett.
three legitimate pass catchers in Freiermuth, Pickens, and Deontay Johnson.
No one had. Okay. You didn't. Not Allen Robinson.
The corpse of Allen Robinson, but I mean, he's way down there. I mean, I think if you I think that Pickens is more boom bust than Deontay. Deontay's going to be a little bit safer week to week.
Cool. All right, let's go again.
Trent, you shake your head at Michael Thomas. I don't get it. What's the deal there?
Oh no, for the brand. It's just Michael Thomas we bring up every year on this pod. This is probably the lowest he's ever been on here. I
actually am somewhat high on the Saints offense this year. Like with Derek Carr, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Shaheed's there. They have some decent tight ends and Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson. Like, I don't know. I think this might be a little comeback year for Michael Thomas.
Yeah. What's sad is if it's a comeback year, like, would you consider? So when you say comeback year, you think he'll finish higher than 40, right? Or do you think 40 would be considered a comeback year for Michael Thomas?
He's played like 10 games in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, the healthy part is the problem.
He was good last year when he was playing.
What would you consider a comeback year, Trent?
For Michael Thomas, probably top 10. Just because
his ability.
The last time we like really, really saw him was he wide receiver 1? And he really hasn't played since that year, right? Like a full season. He had that 1 year he played and he had like 2 TDs the whole year. Or was it 0? The last like
I don't know.
It's been so long.
Yeah, we can move on from the Michael Thomas, but so Jordan, we have him there. Let's go 30 through. Unless you guys want to keep talking about 40 through 31, let's move to 30 to 21.
You want me to go right here?
Yeah, go ahead, Trent.
All right. You said 30 through 21?
30 through 21, correct.
All right. I have Jerry Jeudy at 30, Mike Evans at 29, Deebo Samuel at 28, Chris Godwin at 27, Deontay Johnson at 26, DK Metcalf at 25, Christian Watson at 24, DeAndre Hopkins at 23, Christian Kirk at 22, and Keenan Allen at 21.
Go ahead, Seth.
Okay. At 30, I have Tyler Lockett, 29, Michael Pittman, 28, Mike Evans, 27, I have Jackson Smith and Jigba, 26, I have Debo, 25, Deontay Johnson, 24, Christian Watson, 23, DK Metcalf, 22, DeAndre Hopkins, and 21, Christian Kirk.
Are you going to say something there, Jordy?
I was just going to read mine. What were you going to say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. At 30, I have Kadarius Toney, 29, JSN, 28, Jordan Addison, 27, Deebo Samuel, 26, Mike Williams, 25, Christian Kirk, 24, Chris Godwin, 23, Deontay Johnson, 22, DJ Moore, and 21, Christian Watson.
Nice. Yeah, sir. It's not like we've done this pod before. Like we've done rankings before, and we have 3 people that are giving their rankings. So I don't know what's going on with me. Deebo Samuel, do you guys want to talk to him about a little bit? You guys are all within kind of one of each other's. Anything there that you want to kind of bring up? Just kind of like it doesn't need to be said type deal. Or
his numbers weren't great last year, and
he was also beat up a little bit and injured.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on the Niners offense. I think they just run the ball a lot. I am not high on. I think their quarterback situation is very suspect. So,
wouldn't you almost like him because of that, though, to some extent?
I don't think he's going to get that many handoffs, though.
No, I'm talking about getting like little dump downs, things like that. Yeah.
I think he'll still get some handoffs, but not as much as we
Christian
think.
McCaffrey hurts him a ton.
It'll come out of a weird space. Like it'll be a trick. He'll get the ball, but it'll be out of some trick play that'll be a run, or he'll line up back there with, like it's possible they have that weird backfield where they have Mitchell, McCaffrey, Debo, and Trey Lance back there.
Yeah, he'll have a couple blow up games. It's really hard to game plan about those 49er guys because even like Kittle, he wasn't super consistent last year, but he has some huge games,
Yeah,
plays.
because it happens with the offense.
I mean, he had 632 yards last year receiving.
Yeah.
How many games?
2 touchdowns.
He was out.
games did he play?
He didn't play a full schedule.
Played 12.
So he missed 5 games.
How many rushing touchdowns did he have?
230 yards.
Yeah. I mean,
Were those all pre-CMC though?
I don't know. Probably he had
no,
eight.
he had some.
He had
I
8
know
rushing
that's-
touchdowns the year before. So
was
he went from
banged up.
14 touchdowns to 5 touchdowns.
It's an interesting. We don't have to keep. We don't have to keep.
I think
talking about
Ayuk
it.
hurts him a lot too.
It's just a lot of guys there. The CMC thing hurts him a ton.
What about DeAndre Hopkins?
That's what I was-
I think you guys are entirely too high on DeAndre.
Yeah.
Hopkins.
You think too high?
Because of his location.
I have him
now,
at
or
31, and you have him at Seth has him at 22, and Trent you have him
23.
at
23.
23. I just don't understand why you guys have him so high.
I made this before I found out where he was going.
To Tennessee.
I readjusted him and moved him up a little bit.
You
not
moved him
much.
up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just a bit.
Why? Like what?
you
what-
mean you mean closer to 40 or
Closer up.
to
I think
closer
I had.
to 1?
I think I had him.
you like him in
Hold on,
Tennessee?
let's let him explain. Did you move him
I
closer
just
to 1
was.
or
I was
closer
just
to
looking
40?
at. I was just like,
He's not
AJ
gonna,
Brown put up some decent numbers 2 years ago. I think DeAndre Hopkins still has some stuff in the tank. Like, do I want to draft? Like, I think 23 for a guy as talented as DeAndre Hopkins, I think is pretty good. Like
Talent means nothing. You could have DeAndre Hopkins out there, and if Phil's throwing the ball, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Tannehill
Like,
has had
and he'd have
decent
more
wide
yards
receiver.
than-
Tannehill's not going to be playing quarterback for the Titans this year.
You think it's to be Levis?
It will guarantee be Levis halfway through the year.
Who are some? So
They
Hopkins has
bailed on
played.
him for Malik Willis last year. What are they going to do with Levis?
I don't think they're going to do the same thing where like, hey, let's throw a rookie out there real fast.
They're not going to win games. They're not like
You don't think they'll win games if Henry's healthy? Like, I think they're in the AFC South, Jordan. Like, none of the defenses like scare me in that conference.
I don't know. I think that I
think you just hate anyone on the Titans always, no matter what.
No.
So you bump them a little bit.
no. I like their
just
tight
mad
end.
about
I like
Derrick
a Chig this year. I think Chig's a good spot this year. I like Tyjair Spears. I like him as a lower end running back target.
I'm
like
sorry. You just don't like Henry.
I don't know why you think the Titans are going to be good. Like
I don't think they're going to be good, but I think if Tannehill's throwing the ball the whole game,
you think Tannehill's good. I think Tannehill sucks.
let's see how good I think Tannehill is. What's he ranked on my rankings? I have him at 26.
So then why are you going to take a number one target there? Oh, like
Because like even like Cooper Kupp had a decent fantasy season last year, and Stafford was terrible while he was playing. Like when Cooper Kupp was playing, he was wide receiver
but Cooper
one.
Kupp and DeAndre Hopkins are two completely different animals. Cooper Kupp can take a slant to the house. DeAndre Hopkins has to be able to catch the ball down the field.
And
He's
I
a
think,
go up and get it guy.
I know, but that's what I like about him is he's a go up and get it because I think he can go up and get it anywhere almost.
I mean,
the guy
come on.
has some serious hands.
He was also bad last year, Trent.
Yeah, but like the Cardinals with like who is his quarterback? It wasn't really like I don't know if you can really judge anyone on the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, like who's their quarterback? It was
Oh, so you're saying
You're proving- you're
you're
kinda
proving
proving
my
his
point
point.
exactly. Like Tannehill's not good, but you're saying that he had a bad quarterback last year, so that's the reason why he was so bad.
I think Tannehill's better than the third and second string quarterback he had for the Cardinals the half of the season.
Colt McCoy.
I mean, Trent, the guy he's had. I mean, yeah, he's played. He's barely played any games the last 2 years.
Yeah, because he had the PEDs deal, and then last year was he hurt? Or was last
thought
year the
last year's the
PEDs?
PEDs.
Last year was
the
PEDs.
PEDs. Was he? Did he miss 8 games last year? 6 games?
Yeah.
So I think that hurt. I just don't know if I saw enough of him really last year to really be like, oh, this guy's done. Like I think 20.
I'm not saying he's done, but like
I don't think 23 is that crazy of a ranking. Like PFF has him at 28. Like I know I'm higher than him than PFF, but I still think the talent's there that he could put up some decent numbers.
yeah, I like to trust receivers with good quarterbacks and good offenses, and I just do not trust Ryan Tannehill.
Like the guy, well, we'll get up to him next, but I have another guy that I feel weird ranking too that I keep not knowing exactly.
Tannehill in 2020, he threw for 33 touchdowns, almost 4,000 yards. The next season, he threw for 3,700 yards and 21 touchdowns. Last year, threw for 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at how many games
And most
he
of,
played.
I think most of that had to do with AJ Brown being gone. I think AJ Brown made Tannehill a lot better.
I think you can't compare A.J. Brown and DeAndre Hopkins. I think that's two completely
You just
different
think you think the wheels are completely gone off.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying as like
because AJ Brown's like a take it to the house kind of guy, and
I just think that like they're one's a lot. I mean, AJ Brown's what, probably 25, 26?
Yeah, but when do the wheels start falling off wide receivers? Is it 31?
There's just a lot of guys I'd rather have with way more upside than DeAndre Hopkins, I think. I mean, I have DeAndre Hopkins at 31. I don't feel like I'm that low on him.
No, I don't think you are.
I'd rather take chances on JSN, Jordan Addison, like Christian Watson, like those guys.
Do you like, higher than Jordan Love? I just need to see a little bit more from too. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying with those guys.
Well, you guys,
The
the other
upside.
thing too is like, and Seth and both you guys have him ahead of DK Metcalf.
Yeah, like I don't understand
Like,
that. I don't get it. Like,
Well, Seth said he did it before the rankings,
I did,
and
that
maybe
was
thought he was
before.
going to
Okay,
Buffalo
okay.
or something.
And I did it before, and I just never made the change after I found out where he's going. I probably would have moved him. I just never thought in my head after I found out where he's going to change my ranking. But
Trent, why over DK Metcalf?
That's, I think,
I think there's a lot of mouths to feed. What did DK finish with last year?
he finished at 17,
17.
and Lockett was at 13.
Yeah, I
So
think
there's
there's enough.
decent
I think
amount
there's
of-
enough wide receivers there that it's just spread around more. I don't know who's someone on that Titans team that's going to steal targets from
Treylon Burks,
I
Chig.
like Treylon, but
Treylon and Chig.
I need to see something with a little more than Chig before I say he's going to steal targets from. Like Chig had an okay year last year, but Treylon or DeAndre Hopkins way better than Chig.
You're asking who's going to steal targets, and I
All right, let's move on. I think
and I'm saying I don't think those guys are that good to do it. I do like Treylon Burks. Like I'm willing to take some dart throws on him in some leagues this year.
I don't know. I just think it's crazy you have DK ranked over.
I think that's my big thing. Like, I think, and maybe because I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, I just don't see a world where DeAndre Hopkins finishes ahead of DK Metcalf this year.
I don't know, Phil.
All right,
like,
let's move
okay,
on.
Trent, I have a question. Why don't you have Jordan Addison or JSN ranked in your top 40?
I probably
oh.
just might have thought I had them in there and didn't. Like just going through it, that's possibly what it was. Like, yeah, I can
think
put
Jordan
Addison in over
I
Marquise.
think Jordan Addison is primed for a huge year.
I like Addison. I almost put him there, like where Marquise Brown was. I just figured at number 1, I should put in the top 40. Addison,
No, because
Addison
not all
was-
offenses are created equal.
Yeah, Addison is one where he could be really good. I'm not. I struggle putting rookies in earlier, and especially this class. I'm not huge on him. Jason's the one I feel worse about than Addison because I just think he's a target guy.
But so is Addison. And the Vikings are going to throw the ball 50 times a game this year.
Yeah, I really don't know why I don't have those guys in there, Jordan.
And then JSN, I like JSN. I'm lowest on Tyler Lockett out of the 3 Seahawks receivers. I think Jason's a stud. I think Addison and Jason are both studs. I think they could push for top 25 guys.
I bought the jersey.
I thought you
JSN
bought
Those are
jersey.
cool jerseys.
I bought the JSN.
I was
jersey.
trying to sneak in that Seth bought the Russell Wilson throwback Seahawks jersey, but the time didn't come through. He
Phil
beat me
custom
to
made
the-
one.
It says 12, and then
Spill
it's Russell Wilson.
spent $200 to just put 3 and then Wilson on the back.
Those those jerseys
Did
are
you
pretty
see
cool.
the on Twitter? It an old tweet from 2020 came up from Russell Wilson saying bring back these jerseys, and it was an edit of him wearing the old throwback jerseys, and everyone's bringing that tweet back up.
Oh, because he was
They're trolling
Yeah.
him now. They're
poor Russell Wilson, man. That guy's
No one feels sorry for
bless that
Russell
guy's
Wilson.
heart.
No
That's all
one
I have to
feels-
say.
no one feels
All
sorry
right,
for
let's
us.
go. Let's go 20 and 20 and up. Let's go 20 to 11. So I'm gonna let Jordan start since I skipped him over. Go ahead, Jordo.
I got Amari Cooper at 20, Terry McLaurin at 19, Keenan Allen at 18, Drake London at 17, DK Metcalf at 16, Devontae Smith at 15, T. Higgins at 14, Jalen Waddle at 13, Devontae at 12, Chris Olave at 11.
All right, I'll go. I have Mike Williams at 20, DJ Moore at 19, T. Higgins at 18, Drake London at 17, Chris Olave at 16, Devontae Adams at 15. You say you go all the way to 15?
All the way to 11.
Terry McLaurin at 14, Jalen Waddle at 13, Garrett Wilson at 12, Calvin Ridley at 11.
Yeah,
Seth?
Trent, that's the digits with 1 1, not 1 5. Okay, at 20, I have Keenan Allen.
Zing.
19, Mike Williams. 18, DJ Moore. 17 Amari Cooper, 16 T Higgins, 15 Drake London, 14 Terry McLaurin, 13 Jalen Waddle, and then 12 I have Devontae. I think it's Devontae Adams. Yep, that's right. And then 11 I have Devonta Smith.
Devontae Adams was one that I just wanted to put higher, and I just couldn't make myself put him higher.
Well, why don't you answer it's not he's not Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins are completely different, but there are similarities.
There's
in terms
similarities
of the teams.
in the tiers and the relative.
Correct.
Relative.
But
yeah.
you have Devontae significantly higher. Again, it's Devontae. Do you want to talk about that? a
Well,
little bit?
okay. If DeAndre Hopkins had a good quarterback, I'd probably put him like low 20s, like 2018 to 22.
Who's the Raiders quarterback?
Can you listen?
Yeah,
you want to listen to me, or you want to
I'm
interrupt
asking.
me?
I'm asking probing
I'm
questions.
giving you.
so
I'm going to give you an answer.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I said if DeAndre Hopkins a good quarterback, he'd be 18 and 22. If Devontae Adams had a good quarterback, he'd be 5 to 7
Okay.
That's fair.
or 4 to 6. But he has a bad quarterback, so he's at 12.
So he dropped a little bit. So,
So
you
we're-
use,
so
you
we're
use
saying-
the
so
same
we're-
standard.
Yes, the same standard.
So he's saying Derek Carr's a good quarterback now.
Yes.
Derek Carr. One, Devontae played with Aaron Rodgers, who was good back then for most of his career. Last year, Derek Carr's a special situation because him and Devontae are boys, and so we all knew that they were. Well, we all knew that he was going to get the ball a ton last year. And I actually think Derek Carr is a good quarterback for wide receivers. Not necessarily good for like winning football games. Like I like Derek Carr. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. He will help your receivers, and why I like Chris Olave a lot this year. I like that Saints offense in general because I think Derek Carr gets the job done for fantasy purposes. But yeah, I mean that's my reason for Devontae. I think Devontae's low. It hurts to put Devontae at 12. I think we had him at what, 5? Where did we have Devontae last year?
The projection, or where did he end?
I had him at 2 last year.
He
So
ended
Trent,
at
we
2.
all
I
have
had
him
him
at
at
2.
2.
Like,
I
He
had
ended
two
at
last
2
year.
guys. He had 14 touchdowns.
I mean, the guy was a stud last year.
This whole like tier right here from like 20 to 10, I had a hard time ranking. Like I wanted to move all of them up.
I think
more
it's
than
a really,
can't.
I think it's a really fun tier. Like it's a
Yeah.
fun.
And I'd be happy with pretty much all these guys in my, third round picks.
Same to your point, Trent. Terry McLaurin would almost be a borderline top 10 guy for me if he had a good quarterback, but he doesn't. So he's a 19. Like
And what he finished at last year,
15.
15, yeah.
Like Keenan Allen for me is just kind of on the way down a little bit, just getting older.
I have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams right next to each other. Like maybe I'm too low on Mike Williams.
I think you're too high on Mike Williams.
You think just because you think injuries, or you think the rookie?
All of it. Like I think you're.
You think Herbert has a better year where he's just spreading the ball around a little bit more? Or
Yeah. Like I just think your argument for.
I also always really like Mike Williams.
I know you're a Mike Williams guy. I'm surprised you're not higher on Drake London, Trent.
He's another one. I was going to put him higher, and I just like once I started putting names down, like I probably spent more time on this 20 to 11 than I did the whole list. Like I kept looking at like who goes where, and I had Olave up a little higher, then I moved him back. I had Devontae up a little higher, I moved him back.
You guys are both real. Sorry, keep going, Trent.
I had Jalen Waddle at I had him I think at 11, and I moved him to 13. Like I had Garrett Wilson in my top 9, and then I moved him. I switched Garrett Wilson to Monroe St. Brown. Like I did a lot of. I probably spent most of my time in the 20 through 11 rankings on this.
Why are you guys both so high on Devontae Smith?
Devonta Smith.
You have him at 8, Trent.
Devonta
Seth,
Smith-
you have him at 11. I have him at 15. I'm just
Devonta
curious.
Smith finished at 10 last year.
Yeah, I just think that he's going to be.
I think he's going to get
similar
this.
to that.
I think he's
is
going to
what-
get the
what I do
same.
with
I
that.
think he's going to get the same production.
So second,
You think he'll be a lot? Like I obviously think he's be a little worse, or you just think these other guys are going to do so much
it's
better?
just hard. Like so, I have Olave, Devontae, Adams, Jalen Waddle, T Higgins. I guess for me, I look at Jalen Waddle is the clear number 2 there. T Higgins clear number 2. T Higgins is a better quarterback. Well, I think Joe Burrow is a better pure thrower of the football than Jalen Hurts, and doesn't have to, and T Higgins and Waddle don't have to compete with, to take Trent's words, a running threat of the running quarterback at the goal line type of threat.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae, I still think Goddard is a pretty significant piece there, like that they're gonna use.
And he was
So-
hurt a lot of the year.
Yeah. So like they're close though. They're all real close. So, like Waddle, Higgins, Devontae. But I'm gonna always just go back. Devontae is clear number one, and I know on a team that has a horrible quarterback. And then Chris Olave for me is a clear number one there.
I don't know if I think I left out Olave in mine.
You don't have Olave, Seth.
Yeah, that's one I'm missing.
That's the one you were going to put at 28.
I think that's why
At 38.
It was just 38.
What messes me up on these though, Jordan, is like I'll do stuff and then I'll like be like, no, that guy's way too low. Then I move your whole graph down, then I miss a guy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, I
When
do
move
it.
the
I
charts,
put
I put
40
them over to the
names.
right,
I
yeah.
put 40 names on a doc, and then I just go one by
Go
one,
back and
ranking them
forth.
down.
That's what I should do.
Do we want to keep going, or is there anything you want to talk about? Because you like this 20 to 11 section, Jordan. Do you have anything else you want to talk about here?
No, I'm higher on Olave than probably you guys. I think Derek Carr gets the job done for fantasy purposes. I think Olave is really good.
I think I'm too low on Tua, and maybe that's just because we don't know what his status is, if he'll play the whole season.
Waddle's a guy though who can take one in the house. He doesn't necessarily need.
Yeah.
And Tua's good. Like Tua was good last year.
Yeah,
for
Tua got
them.
hurt. Yeah.
So
Last year he finished as QB. What is this right here? I have it right here.
I mean,
he finished QB 15.
And he doesn't have
Waddle
he
was
has-
wide receiver 7 last year.
Yeah, and they have
I think I'm too low on Tua, and plus he finished his arm sleeve. That's got to give him some. You know what I mean?
And
Like
he had
some
Teddy
toughness,
Bridgewater.
right?
Teddy Bridgewater was the Q
And-
backup, and then someone else. And they have Mike White there this year.
They have nobody. There's no other competition for targets.
No, there's not. Is Gesicki left too, and not like he wasn't a target hog, but he's at the Patriots, right?
Yes, they have no like it's Braxton Berrios, River Craycraft, Robbie Anderson, Cedric Wilson. Like there's just nobody.
Jalen Waddle's draft capital.
Durham Smythe, Eric Sauber at tight end. Like there's literally no one here.
No, but Waddle's draft
Who's
capital
River?
is great, guys. You can get Waddle in like the back, like end of the second round, like mid third sometimes. Like Waddle's draft capital
Yeah.
is perfect. Like I'm trying to snag Waddle anywhere I can get
My
him.
issue is that I normally take Olave over Waddle.
Do you still think like I guess you have him higher? So
Yeah, I'm big on Olave this year. It's crazy that
you could probably get both.
yes, there's drafts, but I end up normally it's like Garrett Wilson, Olave, Jalen Waddle, always right around the same spot. I usually tend to lean, or it's like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Jalen Waddle. For me, I take Waddle the fourth out of those four. So I don't have a ton of those in my best ball drafts I've been doing, but I do like Waddle on the surface.
And speaking of best ball guys, the dude's favorite place to play DFS is Underdogs. Go to underdogsports.com, enter promo code DUDES, and they will match you up to $100. Really helps us out, guys. Go to Underdog. It's our favorite place to play DFS. You just draft your team and forget it. No setting lineups or trades. Just go check it out. It's a lot of fun. They got the new season-long teams, Jordan, you've been trying out. Those look pretty fun. I did an Underdog best ball draft the other day. Nice little puppy draft. Those are fun. And I did a fast puppy, Jordan. So that's like 30 seconds per pick.
Yeah,
You just get that out of the way. You can do it whenever. But yeah, go check Underdog Sports. It really helps us out. Enter promo code DUDES. They will match you up to $100.
Up to $100. All right.
Yeah, so if you put in 100, they give you 100.
They give you 100. That's how it works. All right, let's move on here. 10 and up. Jordan, I'm going to let you go first here. 10 and up. Let's go 10 to 5.
Okay, I have
10 to 6. Sorry.
Calvin Ridley at 10, Garrett Wilson at 9, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 8, CeeDee Lamb at 7, and Stephon Diggs at 6.
Cool. Seth, you want to give us your 10 to 6?
Calvin Ridley at 10, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 9, Garrett Wilson at 8, CeeDee Lamb at 7, Tyreek Hill at 6.
Trent?
I have Amari Cooper at 10, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 9, Devonta Smith at 8, Tyreek Hill at 7, and CeeDee Lamb at 6.
I mean, what is there anything there? Like, do you feel, I feel like the top 10 is the hardest to talk about because I think everyone's just like,
I think the top 4 is the easiest almost.
No. Yes,
I think I'm a
but
little.
do you get what
I
I'm
think I'm a
saying?
little low on Hill. I mean, I think maybe if I replace Hill with Diggs, maybe that's a little more
I
appropriate.
mean, you have him just outside of the top 5.
Yeah, I have him just outside the top 5. And the thing about this, the top 6, I think, really top 7 can be easily jumbled to where it's not like I don't think anyone beats Justin Jefferson this year at 1. But I mean, Cooper Kupp can easily be at 7, and CeeDee Lamb, becomes 3, or Diggs becomes 3.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it becomes so much more difficult to talk about, because I think everyone's just like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, no one's going to get into argument over 6 and 5 being swapped. Do you get what I'm saying a little bit?
Yeah,
I mean, you guys are higher on Diggs than I am.
yeah. That's the only thing. I'm a little lower on Hill, me and Trent are lower.
Yeah,
on
I don't
Hill.
know. I don't get why you have Tyreek at 7, Trent. Yeah, why do you guys have Tyreek so low?
Tyreek, because I think Waddle's going to be competing with him still. I know that they just had two top 10s.
They finished
yeah.
7-3 last year.
Yeah,
Tyreek said he's going for the 2,000 mark this year. They have nobody.
Which would be awesome. Yeah,
there is literally nobody there, Trent.
Yeah, I think I'm too low.
Braxton Berrios and River Craycraft. That's their competition for targets.
I do like Braxton Berrios, but he's not a
a washed
competition.
up Robbie Anderson, Cedric. I mean, look,
It's chosen
Anderson. Like, there's nobody there in Miami. Like,
yeah, and I'm gonna I'm gonna try to adjust these every week on mine just to kind of keep it going.
as a pod, we are way high on Calvin Ridley, and maybe I'm the one driving that, but.
No, I like that.
Did you see that report came out that Lawrence was just said that Calvin Ridley's awesome?
Yeah, he's like the best wide receiver he's ever.
Like PFF has Calvin Ridley at 17.
ESPN's in the 30s, high 20s.
See, that's
wow,
wild.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing that CBS Sport? You said that, Jordan.
Yeah.
CBS Sport. What's Justin Jefferson? So on ESPN, Justin Jefferson's averaging being the number 1 receiver taken off boards. And
let me see if I can find that tweet. I sent it in
I don't
last night.
That doesn't even make sense.
So his current ADP on ESPN is 1-1. Underdog it's 1-1. FFPC 1-1. CBS Sports pick 32 overall.
Which makes that makes 0 sense.
27 picks after Joe Burrow. 17 picks after Alexander Madison. 8 picks after DeAndre Swift. 5 picks after Jared Goff. 2 picks after the Eagles defense, and 1 pick after Christian Watson.
I'm honestly curious how many people are drafting on CBS right now.
There's probably not a lot.
And they're probably all under the age of 13.
No, but the thing is
it's a bunch of just boomers on CBS.
I know, but that has to be less than 100 people playing, right?
I would love to see the numbers of how many drafts
even
have happened on
if that is the number of 1,000 people playing CBS Sports. That is insane.
I just love how you go CBS Sports Fantasy Football. Fantasy football leagues for serious players.
There's no way someone is taking care of that. They
gotta have bots or something. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, we should totally, prank CBS.
Yeah,
and they're just a bunch of weird.
Unless they know
hard.
he has some weird knee injury that we don't know about.
No, but
what it's worth, I think that tweet was deleted.
Oh, was it deleted? So maybe it's not real.
Maybe it's not real. The tweet was deleted.
It's probably not real.
So some guy just.
It's Scott Barrett though. I mean, Scott Barrett is the one who tweeted it.
Yeah, so he must have got. So yeah, so someone must have fed him some fake information, or CBS said hey, take this down.
Take that. I think that's what happened at CBS Sports.
They might have said something like, hey, we've had this many drafts and they've all been auto draft or something.
I mean, even the auto draft though, is your algorithm that off?
Well, if someone just moved them back because they didn't, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Yes, yeah. You're trying to fit a.
I bet CBS told them to take it down.
Someone did thousands of mock drafts just to make CBS look bad.
That's what I'm saying.
It wouldn't be as hard as you think, probably. If you just said hey, I'm going to make 10 fantasy leagues every day, and I'm going to put Justin Jefferson at number 30 in all of them, and I'm going to run every team.
Yeah, Jordan can teach a class and do that just at lunchtime. You know what I'm saying?
I would love it if Jordan said that was me.
If you actually did that with on your first day of school at class, you're like, hey, we're going to do a couple mock drafts.
Everybody put Justin Jefferson at number 30.
Yes, do you know what I'm saying? We actually should have done that.
consultant.
Come on, Jordan. Use your head.
You guys
trying to help my draft out later tonight. Where are we at?
So we're
I think the Calvin Ridley thing though, we're pretty high on him. I think Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Maybe I'm too high on CD Lamb, Jordan. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe my
I have
Cowboy
CD Lamb at
bias.
7. Like I don't.
Like, who do you think? So maybe I should put Tyreek Hill in front of.
I'm lower on Diggs than you guys. That's where the difference is.
What's wild, Jordan, is I don't think you had Amon-Ra. Oh, you did. You had Amon-Ra at 17, but you were not an Amon-Ra believer last year, I don't think. Can I get your backing on that, Trent? I felt like he was.
I know he wasn't a Hawkinson believer. I don't remember that.
I feel like Amon-Ra.
He wasn't a huge.
I'm not a
Amon-Ra.
Goff. I wasn't a Goff believer.
You weren't a Goff believer. You're right. You're right.
It's not that I wasn't a Amon-Ra believer. I wasn't
a Goff. Yeah.
So I stick to what I mean. And Goff has proved me wrong, and now I feel very comfortable with putting him in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because I think Goff is like the Derek Carr vein now, where you're probably not winning a Super Bowl with those guys at quarterback, but for fantasy purposes, it doesn't really matter. And I don't mind them. I don't mind them as fantasy quarterbacks, or getting the job done. I have some decent amount of Goff and Goff in best ball, I think.
Nice. All right, let's shut down the club here with a 5 through 1. Go ahead.
Why do you always say shut down the club? That's your new thing. I think you've said the last couple pods.
It's because, what is that? Oh, man, Jordan brought up the movie a while ago.
Tuck Everlasting?
No, Big Mama's House, I think it is. The guy's like, I'm about to shut down the club, and he like tries to break dance, and he does a front flip and like messes up his back. And I just always thought that was funny as a kid. I think most people find some humor
Seth,
in
give me your rankings, please.
Okay,
Shut down the
my
club.
5 through 1. AJ Brown at 5, Stephon Diggs at 4, Cooper Kupp at 3, Jamar Chase at 2, and Justin Jefferson at 1.
I have A.J. Brown at 5, Cooper Kupp at 4, Stephon Diggs at 3, Jamar Chase at 2, and Justin Jefferson at 1.
Yeah, I got AJ Brown at 5, Tyreek Hill at 4, Cooper Kupp at 3, Jamar Chase at 2, Justin Jefferson at 1. And honestly, I think Jefferson, Chase, Kupp are the top 3. If I had to rank, no, I'd go Jefferson, Chase, CMC, Cooper Kupp. That'd be my and Tyreek Hill. That'd be my top 5 right there, overall.
You have Cooper Kupp. So you think Kupp's going to come back pretty strong. You're confident in that.
Yeah, it's just the type of player he is. It lends itself. He doesn't need
good coach.
Good coach. He's going to be. We know that he's going to get the ball a ton, right? Like,
and he finished at, guys, he hardly played, and he had 75 receptions for 812 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Just turned 30.
And he was and he was 24 last year.
Yeah, 24.
he tears. What did he do? He tore his ACL last year.
I think so.
Do we have confirmation on that?
He played 9 games and had 75 catches.
That's wild.
98 targets.
He got hurt in week.
Yeah, he was on pace for over 200 targets. On pace for over 150 catches.
I'm seeing it was an ankle injury.
He was on pace to beat his receptions from the year before and the targets, and he had 1,900 yards last year. He was 63 yards from a 2,000 yards.
I have him in some dynasty
He was on
leagues.
pace, and he was on pace for 50. Does that make like 1,500 yards? So I mean, he was on pace for a crazy good year again.
Yeah, they just can't stop him. So you aren't big on Diggs. You just think that drama is going to carry over.
No, it's more like I think Diggs is fine, but I'm taking AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson over him.
Because you used to be one of the you were like the original Diggs truther. I remember you were really high on. You were like one of the first Diggs guys I knew.
There's also just nothing wrong. It's just sometimes you have to be the 6th out of the 6. Like AJ Brown, great offense. Jalen Hurts. Tyreek Hill, again, the competition there is just, there's nothing there. Cooper Kupp, kind of a similar thing with Cooper Kupp. And then Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, top 2 wide receivers in football. Like, both with Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow. Jefferson's just on another level. And Diggs is a little bit, in my mind, he seems a little bit older than all these guys. I don't know if that's 100% true.
His age is, he's 29.
So he's a little bit younger than Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, a year 2.
How old is AJ Brown and Tyreek Hill?
So Tyreek Hill's 29 also.
AJ Brown's 26.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and then just on an offense with, let me look at the Bills. It seems like there's just a little bit more competition. You got Gabe Davis. You got 2 tight ends with Dawson Knox and Kincaid, with a pass catching running back in James Cook. And I think they run a little bit of two tight end sets here.
I'm just
They have
thinking-
Khalil Shakir, who I think ends up taking over for Trent Sherfield. There, I'm nitpicking here, Trent. I'm trying to find,
you're good.
It's like I don't know. I feel more comfortable with those 5 guys over Diggs. But yes, would it shock me if Diggs is a top 5 receiver?
I
No.
don't think any of these guys would shock me if they were like top 2, honestly.
It would shock me if it wasn't Jefferson. As long as they both, Jamar Chase
He got hurt last year.
he was hurt. I mean, how many games did he play last year? Let's see if I can find that. Because as long as they're healthy, I have a hard time believing it's not Jefferson, Chase, 1-2.
I had Chase on a couple teams, and he missed, I think, like 3 or 4 games.
Let's see. Chase, he played 12 games.
Okay.
So, like, I just have a hard time believing if those guys don't stay healthy, it's not Jefferson, Chase, 1-2. But then, yeah, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Diggs, they could be in any order, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like,
The Vikings are going to throw the ball 50 to 60 times a game.
Like, I feel like Diggs, like, will finish like 3 is kind of like where I just really expect him. Like 3 or 4 is kind of where I just expect. You're right. I would be shocked if he finished higher than 3.
It's just going to be hard for 2 guys, as long as they stay healthy.
And bad weather. You
Yeah,
gotta
there's the
factor in
weather there
in
too.
Buffalo.
Jefferson, Vikings are in a dome, right? Which helps Jefferson a lot.
Yeah, and just looking like some of the underdog drafts, which we'll do one of those again soon. We got our tight ends episode coming in next. Maybe we'll do an underdog episode with that too. That should be shorter.
Yeah, the tight end's not long.
And
Cooper Kupp's in the dome. That helps Cooper Kupp a little bit at
Yeah.
Well,
home.
he's also in Southern California, so I don't.
Same with, but the dome makes a little bit of difference with just because there's no wind, right? There's no wind factor. So, Miami's not a dome, is it? That's an outside
No, it's
stadium.
outside.
Open.
Hard Rock, is it open? It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
but
I think it's
but
open.
the
but it's
weather in
real high.
Miami's like pretty decent, like all the time.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you?
But
have
they
you
do
seen that
have. They're in the
video?
division where they go up north quite a bit, though.
That's true.
So, yeah. Cowboys is a dome, right, Trent?
Cowboys is a dome.
Dome.
The Lions is a dome, which helps St. Brown. The New York Stadium's a dome or no? The
No,
brand
it's
new.
not. It's not. I don't think. Because remember when they played the Super Bowl there, the Seahawks Broncos, and it was like they were thinking it was going to snow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What?
So, I think that now that
I
we've
think that
turned into a
probably-
Weather Channel pod,
Weather Channel
Hey,
pod.
I will say the weather matters in football.
it does.
No, it
And the domes make a big difference.
It matters for players like Stephon Diggs,
Yeah.
for sure. It's the biggest one. Like that's the biggest one that stands out.
Cincinnati is not though, right? Did we already say that?
It's not a dome.
Yeah, it's not.
Their weather's not as bad as Buffalo, though.
Buffalo gets gross. Remember that Monday Night Football game with the Patriots when Mac
Yeah.
Jones threw like one pass the whole game? Like,
I was wearing like a wetsuit.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up though. Unless there's anything, do you want
No,
to? Does
I
anyone
think
want to
that-
say anything else here on the wide receiver rankings?
I'm sorry I don't have JSN in here. I'll fix that.
Or
Reevaluate.
Addison.
Yeah, or
Offer
Addison.
some sort of.
I didn't have
penance?
Olave, so I'm
Yeah,
not
the
best
Olave
yet.
one might be the worst.
Yeah, that was my bad.
So
He's going on a trip. You got to give him a little break. He's
Give him a
fresh
I also
from
did this a while ago. I was the first one to complete all the rankings. So
Yeah. He did it before the draft. All right. What do we want to do? Move to divas?
we'll get some divas here. We got a dynasty draft coming up soon, guys. That'll be fun.
That'll be good fun.
Getting together here.
We got to talk about some apps for that.
We got to talk about absolutely. I need to get my diva list here. Jordan, do you have a diva? Phil, you got a diva?
I don't really. I've been trying to think of one. Nothing's really like coming to mind. I don't want to.
I thought you had something come up again. You can at least touch on that again. You sent the picture. The guy who's back at the gym.
Oh yeah, back at the gym with
Fan
his,
guy's back.
Fan guy is back. You know, luckily he was finished, or he was finished using the fan on the treadmill by the time I was ready to use the treadmill. But he had the fan literally on the treadmill again.
I feel like Seth's divas usually have to do with driving, and your divas usually have to do with gym issues.
Well, it tells you who goes to the gym and who doesn't go to the gym.
My gym is the open air, baby. I'm a runner.
I don't know. You got a bad back, Phil. Like,
I was gonna say that's part of my diva. Do you want me to go into my diva? It's really
Sure.
not great, but my thing is like kind of like the healthcare system, and I'm not saying the healthcare system as a whole.
What?
I'm saying like I called a place. I called a chiropractic office. Right. I'm not gonna say the name. I don't want to go bad on them. All right. I called a chiropractic office.
you just said the whole health system. Then you talk about a chiropractor.
Yeah, not the whole.
I don't even know if
Yeah, I
that
think
even.
you're the diva
I don't think
here.
chiropractor is even part of the healthcare system.
It is. If it's covered by insurance, I think it's part of the healthcare system. So I called. Basically, what I'm saying is, I'm in pain. I'm in terrible pain. I called this office and I said, "Hey, I'd really like to get in for an appointment." They only take. I've never been there before. They only take new patients on like X number of days a week. And it's like a small window of time where new patients have to basically, I don't know if they're like trying to whip new patients into shape and just being like, no, you play by our rules. You have to come in when we
You have
want.
to do different stuff because they want to X-ray you and all that stuff.
I get it. I totally get that. But just like, if I'm in pain, just get me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a new patient at a dentist's office and my tooth is like breaking off, are you going to make me wait to the hours that they're
But
taking?
Phil, I think
How
this-
much pain are you in that you can't make it fit? You're obviously not in that much pain.
It's
that you
not
can't.
great. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's why a hospital is a thing.
Yeah, no, it's
The
true.
urgent care.
The urgent care.
I'm not going to go to urgent care.
You should
for
go to
back
urgent
pain
care and just be like, just shove your elbow in my back and
just
fix
massage it around.
Yeah.
Seth, are you a chiropractor guy or not really?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of just tough it out. I
He's
think.
too young. He's the youngest guy in the pod by a lot. Like, how old are you?
But I've been going to a chiropractor
I also
since
don't
I
hurt
was
my
a
back
child.
by sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
You
You also said you couldn't breathe after you ran a 6-minute mile the other day.
I would love to see you
Everyone
guys
else
try
here
to
would have
breathe.
died after 6
No, I would
minutes.
smoke. That would be smoke.
You
City.
could do a 6-minute mile.
100%.
You can hardly walk.
As soon as my back is better, I will run a 6-minute mile.
Like
What
a
did you run in
6-minute
6:15?
or in the 6-minute
6:15,
mark?
yeah,
So I'll do 6:14. As soon as my back is better, I will run a 6:14.
Better money, Seth. Better money.
I'll do $20.
I'm not doing money. I'll do. A
No,
I don't know when my back's gonna be injured.
Don't
And I
bet
may
on-
have to use that as my copay.
Here's Phil's word of advice. Don't bet on yourself. My word of advice, bet on yourself.
exactly.
I'm not gonna buy boot
Actually, you know what would
Crocs.
actually be better too? You know what would actually be better is if me and Phil ran it at the same time and I just torched him.
Yeah, that wouldn't
We ran
happen
it
in
the
your
same-
wildest dreams.
Okay,
That's the
Seth
problem.
is like 6 feet tall. You're like what, 5'8"?
Have you seen-
I'm being
hold on,
really
no.
nice.
Have
I'm being
you
really
seen-
nice.
have you seen-
his stride is better?
No,
he's
absolutely.
built for long
you
distance.
are. This
You're
is
not.
where you're absolutely wrong. If you look at the height and build of like fast, like mile runners or even marathon runners or a half marathon, whatever you want to call it, they are basically my shape.
Yeah,
I mean,
you look
not
just
as
like
fat,
an Olympian.
Not
honestly.
as fat. Not as fat.
I
Not
get
as
you,
fat.
I get you mixed up with Usain Bolt all the time.
Not as fat. Usain Bolt sprints, you dummy. They're around like 5'8" and they're usually around 35.
They're also usually about 50 pounds lighter than you are.
Yeah, I said the weight thing already. I already said the weight thing.
Well, the weight thing matters. You can't just overlook that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm a fast twitch athlete. You're over here complaining
I
about
was
it.
saying
You're
you're more of a
running
sprinter.
indoors on a treadmill, and this guy's riding a
Alright,
Peloton.
Phil is right. The average height of a long distance runner is about 5'8", but they also
Okay, Phil watched
Probably weigh 50
McFarland one
pounds.
time. I'm sorry.
they probably weigh like 30 pounds less than me. They probably weigh they're probably 5'8", 150 or less.
Maybe even less.
No,
than
like
that.
125,
they're-
130.
They're like jockeys. They might as well be horse jockeys. Like they're about the same size. Anyhow, all that to say is, I really wish
I'll
that-
race you.
That's a dangerous.
I'll mile race you.
You don't want. Yeah, oh yeah, mile race. Yeah, we're gonna do the mile race
Okay.
as soon as my back is better and I'm in good enough.
I'm not saying I do 6'4". I think I could get in the 6s. I think I break 7 minutes. That's for sure.
And I'd call that delusion, but
Now I'm running with
There's
you guys.
no way you are faster than Seth on a mile.
crazier things have happened.
I'm gonna-
Trent.
That's
yeah.
true, but that's true.
I'm running with you guys.
All right, well,
I'm gonna
I
sell
hope- I
tickets.
hope
I'll be
Phil
at the
gets-
concession stand selling tickets for the whole town to come
yeah.
watch this race.
and we'll get
I hope
we'll
Phil
get a
gets last.
sundial for you, Trent.
My diva of the week
Wait,
is
hold on, I
delusional
didn't
people. Hurry up.
All I'm saying is, like, if you have someone who is in like legitimate pain, the lady was like,
Which
yeah,
is not you.
It's
Because
not
you
you.
would have went. You
No.
would have went if you were in legitimate pain.
I had work. I had responsibilities that I needed to take care of. I had work that I needed to take care of. So all I'm saying is, you want to talk about grit? That's your boy right here. Like I'm
You were the opposite of grit.
Wait.
You're complaining about a fan on a treadmill, Jordan.
Wait, no, I can't use the treadmill because someone else is a fan on the treadmill.
Say that again real quick and listen to yourself talk. You can't use a treadmill because someone else is using a fan on it?
The guy who put the fan on the treadmill and uses it.
But there's multiple treadmills.
It's the one that I like.
So you can't use any other treadmill because you only like that
in
one.
fairness, there was like 4 and they're all being used, and the guy has the one that's on.
Okay.
There's an open treadmill being used to hold a fan, Phil,
Phil.
and a gym that's packed full of people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, see. This is the thing about me. I would kindly say, sir, I need you to take this fan off. I'm going to utilize.
I did
this thing."
before.
And I think
And what did he do? Was he cool about it?
No.
in the
Oh,
chiropractor.
really?
Yeah, he gave me a bunch of crap.
Wow. So you just cower.
That was
every
like
time you
that
see
was
him
like a
now?
year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Take pictures of him behind his back. All right. Anyhow, just get me into the office. I'm in pain. The lady on the line was nice. She's like, "Hey, use some ice," and I'm like, "I really need to get into this
Take
office."
some Advil.
She's like, use some ice, take some Advil, or go to the freaking hospital.
Yeah, I can't take Advil. I'm allergic to ibuprofen.
Well, maybe you should take some anyways.
Tylenol. Anyhow, I'm going to a chiropractor tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Pod update in 2 weeks. Unfortunately, we're a little bit too far out. I'm hoping that all this goes down and I'll be able to race. Or when do you get back, Seth?
I'll race you as soon as I get back.
No, when do you?
He
get
will
back?
race you after his red eye in flip flops.
Guys, I think you're under. Trent doesn't know how running works. That's the
No,
problem.
I've seen you run. I've seen you run.
Yeah, lightly. That's my break. If I'm running like just enjoying it, listening to a podcast.
We've had okay. That's fair. I haven't seen your sprint in a while.
I think Phil, for what it's worth, I think Phil will be able to keep up with me at my pace for like the first 2 laps, and then like I think he's gonna get gassed.
I think that's probably the.
I think he's gonna. I think Phil's gonna
But
get
I
gassed.
have to. I know my limitations, but I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk like
Phil,
big stuff until we get to the starting line.
Okay, Phil, you have complained about your back hurting because of a chair. You've also complained about, you couldn't do a podcast because you rolled an ankle. If you try to attempt a 6:30 mile, you might die.
Guys,
your
guys.
doctor might tell you, like, hey, do not do this. Make sure your will's
I
done.
ran a 5K. I ran a 5K, and my average time was 7:20. That's moving.
That is.
Wait,
was that
what's-
5 years ago?
Wait,
No.
what's a 5K? Is
So
that
I ran 3 miles.
2
miles.
2.3 or something
No,
like
it's
that.
3.1. 5K is 3.1 miles. So I ran 3 miles, and my average time the problem was my first 2 miles I was just cooking, and then my 3rd mile I was like I threw up on the side of the trail because I was like running too fast, and so that killed me. So like that was me in the same shape that I'm in. Like when
How many years ago
How
was
long
this?
ago was this?
my daughter who's 5 was a newborn.
No shot.
No shot.
You were not in the same shape you were now than you were then. No way.
Your back was totally different back then.
And my knees,
Yeah.
and my ankle for that matter.
and your freaking age.
Now that
You
I
were
might be fast
older,
for my
yeah.
age now if I was able to do it in my
That's
age
true.
group is what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
Anyhow,
you got a AARP card.
I'm gonna
in the mail
talk.
the
I'm
other
gonna
day,
talk
like,
big stuff until we get to the line, and then I will cook. And the problem is, Seth, we
He's
have to
gonna
do
fall
it.
down and pretend he's hurt.
No, we have
Phil's
to do
gonna try to
it.
step on my shoelaces the entire time.
We have to do it at like an undisclosed location. Like we have to plot it out. I'm not doing it at this local high school with Trent out there chirping us the entire
That's exactly
time.
where it's happening.
This needs to be like a Sylvester
No,
Stallone.
do not
Rocky,
agree. Don't agree to
Apollo
his.
Creed.
Don't agree to his
No.
terms. He's gonna take you to like some disc field or something that he's been training in.
This is gonna be like Apollo
Where his
Creed
lower
Rocky.
center of gravity helps him out.
Yeah. This needs to be like
Speak
Apollo
downhill.
Creed, Rocky on the beach racing.
No. Phil's gonna be like, it has to be a straight line.
Okay, hold on. So Trent, your only bet is that I'm going to lose to Seth. That's fine. But where do you put me in time? Like, where would you put my time?
Oh, you would not shock me if you ran a 7:10 mile.
All right, I can respect that. That's shocking.
But you understand though, 7:10 and 6:15. There's a very big difference in
In
that
terms
time.
of a race, that is a
Yeah,
smoked.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the difference between like first place and last place in a race.
You guys are going to be woefully shocked
Man,
when I come in
just-
here.
Like
I can even
I want
walk.
to do this just so I can destroy Phil, but I feel like Phil's just doing this just to talk, and then like we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna run hard, and I'm gonna feel terrible.
And he's
after.
not-
And Phil's gonna be like 8 minutes, like, man, I'm proud of myself.
Listening to a podcast.
my PR.
He's just like, I can do an 8-minute mile here.
I will say that these tree trunks hanging off my legs are, they move, baby. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Hey, we need to shut the club down.
Yes.
I don't think I need to do a diva.
The problem is my diva is, okay, when are we doing this? So should we put a date on this? No, we're putting a date on
No,
this.
because we don't know when your back's gonna get good.
All right, we're doing it.
No. You might not be healthy for.
Let's
Your back could be bad
Let's
forever.
aim.
Phil.
No, I think what we do is we aim for the end of August.
Wait, are you trying to train now?
No,
yes,
no,
he
no.
is.
No, my
He's
back.
trying to train. He's trying to train.
No, how about we do weekly updates when your back is good, and then as soon as you say your back's fine, then we do it days after you say your back's fine. Because I'm not letting you train.
Phil's gonna train for
Because
6
if you're
weeks.
gonna train, then I'm gonna train, and then I'm gonna run a 5:30, and you'll never.
I don't think you can touch a 5:30. But
If I train till the end of August, I could run a 5:30 for sure. The end of August? That is like 6
so
weeks.
that should be your goal. 5:30. Let's go end of August. You run a 5:30 and me run a 6:14.
No, we're not doing a most improved competition. Like this is so dumb.
This is a participation
We are
trophy.
shutting the club down.
All right, are you
I
gonna
don't
give your diva or no?
I don't think there's time. I don't have anything like super good that can top anything that's been said here, right?
Yeah.
Like there's been some outlandish things said just now, so I'm gonna shut the club down.
We're probably gonna have people who offer to join in on this just for what it's
Yes,
worth.
I think so. That's why I'm
Yeah.
gonna sell tickets. So, anyways, all right, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.
GoFundMe for